YouTube is LMERicoTv, man. I'm back with another video. Y'all see what we got going on, man. In the sentence, aka 1090 Jake, pretty much dropped the update to the murder of BTB Savage. And the video is called 40-year-old rapper waited hours outside AIRBNB before gunning down BTB Savage. So y'all know what time it is, man. If you're brand new to the channel or you've been watching videos on the channel but not yet, subscribe to the channel. Please hit that subscribe button now. As y'all see, I'm on the grind to 7K, and hopefully I hit that sometime very soon. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and comment on the video to help the video get recommended to a larger audience of people and hopefully bring new supporters to the channel. Also, don't forget to tell your family and friends about the channel as well, and hopefully they become supporters of the channel. Also, I want to say shout out to my supporters, man, because without y'all, my channel wouldn't be where it is right now. So with that said, man, I highly appreciate everything y'all do. So continue to do what y'all do, definitely, and I definitely appreciate it. Also, don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new videos, and be sure you don't miss out on new videos. Check out the channel every single day. Also, don't forget to add and follow me on social media. All my social media platforms are listed down below in the description box as well as throughout the video, so you guys shouldn't have a hard time at all finding me on social media. That said, I'm gonna start the screen record. That starting the vid now.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, and I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be going over the paperwork of BTB Savage's alleged killer who stalked him before striking. BTB Savage, a San Antonio rapper whose violent and untimely demise has sadly become more viral than his career ever was. Just 8 days after he was gunned down, the Houston Police Department announced 40-year-old Montrell Burley was wanted for killing the 26-year-old rapper. Investigators determined gang ties would be the motive behind Montrell stalking and killing a man almost half his age. On March 30th, 2023, 2 Houston police officers were assigned to a murder investigation in which a man later identified as BTB Savage was found dead, laying on his back after being shot repeatedly. 20 feet away was his bullet-riddled white Mercedes with the driver's door still open. An on-scene witness was able to detail how a black SUV stopped in the street behind her when the passenger door opened and a man got out, taking a shooting stance before opening fire on the Mercedes. Another witness gave officers permission to view her home security camera.
Dang,
the black
crazy.
SUV was seen behind the Mercedes when it drove in the wrong lane facing oncoming traffic before cutting off the Mercedes at an angle in an attempt to stop it. BTB Savage tried to drive around the SUV when 2 muzzle flashes came from the back of the SUV before they continued driving north and out of view. Houston police would take advantage of the flock cameras placed around the city. These cameras essentially read and track license plates, placing them in a real-time database that can easily be searched and alert officers for suspect vehicles.
Yeah, man, a lot of cities are starting to put these cameras everywhere in their cities and stuff, because, like, even in Chicago, when y'all seen that whole FBG Duck situation, like, that car literally got tracked from the time it left one of the hoods, old block, pretty much in Chicago, all the way to where they was at in downtown Chicago and stuff like that. So people was actually able to get that car tracked from there to the actual crime scene and shit like that. So it's like pretty much you down there can't do nothing now, for real. Like security cameras, whether it be from businesses or people's homes, etc., it's like almost every time like you're gonna be seen anywhere at this point. So it's like now you just pretty much gotta watch your surroundings even before you think about doing something, because nowadays it's gonna be a lot of cameras everywhere. It's just around that time now, like people really just trying to make sure they safe and stuff, and if case something do happen, they able to get some footage and everything like that to have evidence to pretty much back up whatever they got going on and stuff, in case they gotta show evidence to 12 and all that. So pretty much, man, yeah, it's like that now. Everybody just got security cameras. Shit. It's just that time, man. It's a dangerous world out there, for real. And it's just more crazy now than ever. So other than that, though, man, let's go ahead and continue on.
The suspected black SUV was found to be a Subaru driving with a license plate belonging to a stolen Kia Optima. The Kia was stolen just 2 days before the murder, and the day after it was stolen, Flock cameras caught the Kia driving with its original license plate, as it was followed by a 2020 black Subaru with the Florida license plate. This was the last time the Kia was seen on camera with its original plate. A search of the Florida plate would show the Subaru was a rental registered in Orlando and had been rented out of San Antonio 4 days before the murder.
I don't get why people think just because you get a rental, I mean, it ain't gonna trace back to you, because I'm pretty sure that's the main reason why a lot of these people begin rentals and shit when they're going to do something like this, just because they feel like the shit ain't gonna trace back to them. But whole time, it's gonna still get you put in that situation, because once police figure out where the rental came from, they gonna be able to go to that dealership and then be able to say, well, your car was reported in this crime scene and shit, et cetera, around this time. So now we need to figure out who y'all rented the car out to around those times. So once that happened, they pretty much already got your name and location and all that. Like, you just pretty much put yourself caught up in that situation at that point. So that's it, man. Even if you go get rentals, still not a good idea. It's still gonna get traced back to you for real. But now let's go ahead and continue on.
To a man named Montrell Burley. Montrell's address would be listed in New Braunfels, a city just outside San Antonio.
Yep.
Houston police would contact the New Braunfels Police Department and have a unit sent to Montrell's house, where parked in his driveway was the black Subaru with the Florida plate. March 31st, the day after the murder, a search warrant for the vehicle was signed. SWAT would observe Montrell and a woman pulling out of the driveway, and they'd stop the vehicle over 100 feet away from the home. The female driver was identified as Passion James, Montrell's fiance. She'd be detained on a misdemeanor, as Montrell was charged with possessing narcotics. Within the vehicle, officers found 2 iPhones, and when opening the rear hatch, a rifle shell casing fell to the ground. Both
Damn.
Montrell and Passion would be transported to the police station for interviews. Providing his cell phone number,
just stay look, 12 pull something in the car and the whole bullet case shell fall out. It's crazy. It'd be the craziest way sometimes some of these people be getting caught up for real. But now let's continue on.
Montrell said he hadn't visited Houston in about a week. When asked about the day of the murder, he claimed he woke up late from drinking the night before and couldn't go anywhere because someone had borrowed his rental. When asked where he was around the time of the shooting, he said he wasn't with the vehicle, and when asked who he let borrow the vehicle, Montrell requested an attorney, and the interview.
I was finna say, at that point, it's already over with. You said you let somebody borrow the rental, so that means you gotta know who exactly it was that you let borrow the car. So now you in a situation where either you really now gotta say that person's name, or you just gonna have to go ahead and do what he did, pretty much say you want your lawyer and shit. So it was already pretty much a sealed fate at that point. But now let's continue on.
You ended. Passion was a bit more willing to talk. She said Montrell was her fiance and they had a child together. He had crashed her car not too long ago, which was why they had a rental.
Take one.
My name is Andre Jean-Pierre. I live in Lakewood, California.
On the day of the murder, she woke up just before 10 a.m. and Montrell wasn't home. She didn't know where he was, and he didn't come home until 8:30 that night. She said she texted him a few times throughout the day and even spoke with him around 3, but didn't know where he was or what he was up to. Investigators asked if there was any recent deaths in the family, and she said Montrell's cousin had been killed. She didn't know the details of the case, but his cousin's name was Omar. Investigators became aware the homicide victim, who was a rapper by the name of BTB Savage, along with his girlfriend, were involved in the shooting death of Omar Richardson in San Antonio. The shooting was justified, no charges were filed, and Savage conducted an interview with the YouTube channel vladtv on the shooting. The day Savage was killed, he'd post Instagram photos from the scene of the shooting, standing in Omar's blood. One of Montrell's neighbors gave police access to a camera in which investigators were able to observe the parked Subaru the night of the murder. It was 11 at night, and for roughly 20 minutes, a man can be seen wiping the interior and exterior of the vehicle down with the towel. On April 3rd, investigators spoke with BTB Savage's mom, who told investigators after the shooting of Omar, he moved from San Antonio to Houston and was living out of an Airbnb. She said the day of the shooting,
So this whole time in part one, I don't think they ever said where he was like actually found that in the video where they pretty much found his body and stuff like that. So I don't think they said it was an Airbnb or anything like that. I originally thought it was just from his old crib, because I was like, if he stayed at that crib pretty much marked, because all the people that pretty much got away from the situation gonna remember exactly where you live now, all that. So it's like I wouldn't even take a chance of staying at that crib any longer, because at any point, if they decide to come and do something, they know exactly where we stay at now. So now it's coming to find out that he was actually at an Airbnb whole time. So now all of this is now adding up. Like, he was moving smart at the time, pretty much after the whole situation. He just went back, did what he did for the pictures, probably got some other stuff that he probably left, whatever. And then pretty much the dude that got pretty much arrested for his murder now, it looks like he pretty much was just knowing his moves pretty much a little bit. Like, he found out what Airbnb and everything he was staying at. So either somebody pretty much gave him the info, or he was just pretty much on that type of time where he was going to do whatever he could to try to track him down and get revenge. So it's just crazy, man. Like I said, well, actually, y'all can go watch that video, because I don't want to make this video longer. But if y'all want to see my full opinion, I would say reaction, etc., then just go ahead and watch that video. I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section down below, so y'all can go check that video out. And y'all can still finish out this video and then go watch that one, or y'all can stop it right now and go watch that one and then come back to this video and continue on. But other than that, though, man, now a lot of this is starting to make sense for real on how everything happened now. But other than that, let's continue on.
BTB was going to leave for Vegas, but what they didn't know was someone had already leaked BTB Savage's new address.
Dang, so that's how. Okay, let me rewind that again, man. We gotta hear that part again. That's crazy.
An Airbnb. She said the day of the shooting, BTB was going to leave for Vegas, but what they didn't know was someone had already leaked BTB Savage's new address. Houston investigators working with San Antonio's police department learned Montrell.
Also, I said in that video, I felt like it was possibly a backdoor situation, because after he got killed, somebody went, pretty much they said the friend let the people that originally came to rob him and stuff, etc., into the crib to steal some of his stuff that was left behind. So that's possibly what's going to happen now with this whole situation. Like, somebody, probably the same dude that let the other person's friends back in the crib after he left steal all his stuff, is probably the same one that pretty much leaked the new address. But if it wasn't him and it was somebody else, then that means he had a couple of people that just pretty much was on some other type of timing for real, behind his back. And that's sad for real. But other than that, we're going to continue on. That's why you got to definitely watch everybody around.
After the shooting of Omar, he moved from San Antonio to Houston and was living out of an Airbnb. She said the day of the shooting, BTB was going to leave for Vegas, but what they didn't know was someone had already leaked BTB Savage's new address. Houston investigators working with San Antonio's police department learned Montrell Burley and Omar Richardson were original members of San Antonio's Styx gang, which branched into the Bloodstone villains. It would turn out the two weren't blood related, but bounded by a gang affiliation, which is believed to be the motive for murder. Not only that, but Montrell is a 40-year-old rapper who goes by the name Versus 600. And a month after Omar died, Montrell dropped a song titled Pain is Love, a tribute to Omar in which he talked about pain, drugs, and shootings. A search warrant for Montrell's phone would reveal on March 29th, the day before the murder, Montrell left his home at 11:40 in the afternoon. His phone's GPS as well as his neighbor's surveillance camera would align perfectly. By 9:50 that night, all the way to 2:30 in the morning, Montrell would lurk the Houston area BTB Savage was staying in. It was 1:50 in the afternoon when Montrell's phone showed he was yet again by Savage's Airbnb. For the next 4 hours, Montrell would waiting for BTB Savage to come out of the Airbnb so he could strike. And just after 6 p.m., the opportunity came. BTB Savage would only make it 3 minutes away from his Airbnb before being gunned down. And 5 minutes after the shooting, Montrell's cell phone GPS would show he was already on the highway, heading back to San Antonio, having completed his mission.
Damn.
With an overwhelming amount of evidence, such as using a rental under his own name to commit murder, leaving a spent shell casing in the rental, cell phone GPS, license plate readers, and surveillance video, Montrell Burley...
It was just, after he did all that, it was just over. Like, pretty much it was just too much solid evidence against him at that point, so he probably was better off getting rid of the car, burning it up or something crazy. But then again, that still would have fell on him, because now the people that he rented the car from would have to report damages and all that shit, that pretty much he was pretty much responsible for the car at the time that he had rented it out, et cetera, et cetera. So, either way, he was over with at that point. It wasn't going to be nothing that was going to be able to get him to not go to jail.
He was charged with BTB Savage's murder, and at this
he was
time,
just gonna have to run at that point, for real, just go on and run.
While Montrell currently has a $1 million bond.
Hey, do you know where Lisa is?
Do you think she's drinking without us?
Now this is an ugly case. It seems that had BTB Savage not provoked the situation that made him go viral, which was legally killing a man, he may have still been alive. But at the end of the day, Omar was apparently a gang member. One of his gang brothers slid for revenge, and he got the shit done. And I mean, it's obvious whoever BTB Savage thought was on his side wasn't. There's already been accusations of producers set him up. Apparently they robbed the Airbnb, took all of his belongings after he was killed, like his jewelry, his clothes, whatever. But somebody definitely...
Oh, wow. So, not at the old crib. So, okay, yeah, definitely a lot of stuff is making sense now, for real, for real. So, he never really went back to living at the old crib after him and his girlfriend had that situation happen at that crib. After everything happened, he went back probably for the picture, and that was probably about it. And then they probably also moved everything already at that time to the new crib, pretty much the Airbnb. So it's all making sense now. So whoever had the address to the new address pretty much probably was the one that set up everything, from the whole situation of them coming to do a feature, and then on top of that, after he gets killed, then coming back and letting somebody in to pretty much steal the rest of his belongings and shit like that. So it's definitely crazy. Like I said earlier, man, he definitely had probably one or a few other people that probably wasn't really rocking with him for real, and had a hidden agenda against him. So yeah, man, it's just a sad situation, man. And that's why too now a lot of people wonder why people in this generation is messed up with socializing, et cetera, et cetera. It's probably because they seeing shit like this going on. It's happening a lot now. You getting people that you think is your friends going out having a good time or whatever the case may be, but whole time they got some hidden animosity towards you and shit. So it's like we just seen a few cases like this where people's friends ain't really they friends for real, and ultimately did something crazy to that person and betraying their trust, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just sad, man. That's pretty much why I think people feel like this generation is struggling with socializing for real. But like I said, it's a whole different world out here right now. It's just super crazy. Like, it's dangerous everywhere. You can't put it past nobody now. Somebody with no record could be just as crazy as a person with a record for real. So It's just sad, man. But now let's continue on.
Definitely dropped his location. Somebody definitely gave up the Airbnb address, gave it to the alleged shooter, who then drove around and waited for hours until a white Mercedes came out. Literally.
And nobody is gonna sit somewhere for hours if they don't really got no legit solid proof that the person they looking for stay at that address. So he definitely had that address confirmed before he even went to San Antonio and did that. It's crazy, man. But now let's continue on.
He would have taken a right turn and another right turn, and that's how he got killed. 2 right turns, 3 minutes away from the Airbnb. Gunfire erupts around 6 in the afternoon. Bunch of witnesses, surveillance video. He didn't care.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what got him pretty much all the way pretty much over with, because you did this during pretty much when it's still daylight out. People seeing the car, seeing everything about you, pretty much, whatever they saw from you, your clothing, etc., all that. So it was just pretty much over with at that point. Like, he signed his fate away at that point in time, right then and there, because it was just too much going on for that to not lead back to him. So that's crazy. But now let's continue.
Yeah. Whoever did this didn't care. He was sitting there waiting for hours, saw what he wanted to shoot at, did what he did. And apparently they're saying Montrell was the one that was behind this, and 5 minutes after the shooting, he was already on the highway, dapping himself up, making his way back to San Antonio, thinking that he just got away with the situation.
Left too much.
And the whole time, the vehicle that this was allegedly done in is parked outside of his fucking house. The police had a drone hovering above his house, waiting to see who would get inside of the car. Him and his girl.
Damn.
They have his cell phone.
Yeah, it was
location
over
matching
with at that point, for real.
the license
They
plate
did
readers
it. They
and the
did everything they
surveillance
was supposed to
video,
do to try to catch
placing
him.
him at the
That's
scene.
crazy.
So they're gonna argue no matter what, they have for sure proof he was inside of that vehicle. But there was a driver and a shooter. They don't have a second suspect publicly named. I don't know if they're looking into somebody. But at this point, nobody's been named, which means he hasn't given anyone up at this time, because they announced he was wanted before he was even found, and then he turned himself in on the charges. But to be so bold that you allegedly committed a murder with a rental rented under your name, it sounds like bro crashed out. Drop y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090.
And that's pretty much about it for the video, man. That's crazy, though. Yeah, it was just pretty much too much going on for him to not get caught up. From the police pretty much tracking him with the surveillance cameras and neighbors on that street having surveillance video and all that shit. And then on top of that, y'all literally found a car parked that's outside his house and had a drone in the air just waiting to see who hop in the car. They definitely was on the mission to definitely catch him for real. They was not finna try to let this go cold at all. It was just, you did it in daylight too, so you did that pretty much when you know it's active outside. It's hella people probably walking around or just at their crib with the windows open. It's probably a sunny day, etc., etc. So yeah, it was gonna be too hard for nobody to not know anything and not see anything and say anything to the police for real in that area. But other than that though, man, that's pretty much the end of the video. RIP to him. But with that said, that's pretty much the end of the video, man. Smash that like button, comment on the video, help the video get recommended to a larger audience of people, and hopefully bring new supporters to the channel. Also, don't forget to tell your family and friends about the channel as well. Hopefully they become supporters of the channel. And also, man, shout out to my supporters again, man, because without y'all, my channel wouldn't be where it is. So definitely continue to do what y'all do. I highly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new videos, and be sure you don't miss out on new videos. Check out the channel every single day. Also, don't forget to add and follow me on social media. All my social media platforms are listed down below in the description box as well as throughout the video, so you guys shouldn't have a hard time at all finding me on social media. With that said though, man, that's the end of the vid, and I'm gonna catch you guys later on with more. So stay tuned. Peace.